Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel, and in this video I will explain that how you can grind the valves of your motorcycle or scooter by using a drill machine, and you can also grind these valves by using vacuum cups and a stick, and that is a common method. Most of the people are doing it in that way, but if you are using a drill machine, then it will be very faster. So before starting the actual grinding process, I want to give you some introduction. The first question is why we want to grind this valve on this valve seat. See, if you will not grind this valve on this valve seat, then it will not make a airtight sealing, and when the compression stroke will come, when your piston will compress the gases here, then the gases will leak from exhaust valve or intake valve, and it will create the loss of compression, and it will create the performance deficiency in your motorcycle and scooter. So it is very important that we have to make this sealing completely airtight. No air should leak or no gas should leak from these valves. That's why we have to do valve grinding here to make it completely airtight. So now how to grind this valve on this valve seat and how we can make a airtight sealing. This valve is in very bad condition. This is partially burnt valve, so it is always a good decision to replace this old valve with new one. So here I am replacing this old valve, and here is our new valve. You can see this new valve, and we will grind this new valve on this valve seat. Now before grinding this valve, you have to check this valve seat. This whole head is made up of aluminum, but this valve seat, you can see this portion, this valve seat is made up of ferrous metal and it is pressed here on this head. So you have to check this valve seat. If it is worn out and it went completely inside, then you have to replace this valve seat also. But in this case, if you will see here carefully, it is not that much worn out, so we can grind new valve here, no problem in it. So we can use this valve seat. Otherwise we have to replace this valve seat also. The second thing is valve guide. Here also you can see a ferrous metal part here. This portion is known as valve guide. It guides the valve. So you have to check this valve guide. If it is worn out and if it has lot of play and scratches inside, then we have to replace this valve guide. But in this case the valve guide is healthy, so we are not replacing this valve guide. Otherwise you have to replace this valve guide, but in this case it is healthy, so we are using this old valve guide. Yes, it is healthy. So now we have to start the valve grinding process. We have to remove this old valve oil seal. We have to remove it very carefully. Yes, you can see here, this is our old valve seal, and after grinding we will install new valve seal on this valve guide. This process of valve grinding is also known as valve lapping, and for doing the valve lapping we need lapping paste or grinding paste, and this paste comes in two sizes. Here you can see this is coarse side and this is fine side. So when you want to do the heavy cut in the initial stage, you have to use this coarse mixture, and when you want to do the final finishing, at that time you have to use the fine paste. You can see the difference between coarse and fine. So we have to start with coarse one, and after that we have to finish by using the fine one. Here is our new valve, and you have to apply a small amount of engine oil on this valve, otherwise it may damage the valve guide. So you have to apply a small amount of oil. It will make the rotation of this valve easier. You can see here. Yes, and after that we have to take this paste, this mixture. So we have to start from the core side, and you have to take very small amount. You can see here it's very small amount. You can see here it's very small. You can see you have to take very small amount. Don't put more. Very small amount on the circumference of this valve. Yes, now you have to put it back. Yes, and here is our drill machine. I simply attached a pipe, fuel pipe, in this drill machine. It's very simple. You can attach a pipe here, and you can tie it here like this, so that this pipe will not come outside. Yes, and now by using this drill we will grind this valve very easily. So I am attaching this pipe here on the rear side of this valve. Yes, and now we are ready for grinding. But before grinding, you can put a small amount of WD-40 or kerosene or diesel on this valve, so the grinding process will be very smooth, and the surface finish will be also very nice. Just 1 or 2 drop, not more. Yes, I'm just putting 1 or 2 drops, not more than that. Yes, it is more than enough. Just 1 or 2 drops. It should be slow. Don't operate drill at high speed. While grinding, lift it like this. You can see this one. And you have to also change the direction of rotation. See, now I am changing the direction of rotation. When both the surfaces meet each other perfectly, then you can notice the decrease in sound, and at that time you can just remove this valve, and you can check what is the condition of this mating surface. You have to clean the surface and you have to check it. You can notice the change in surface. So you have to remove this paste from here, and now we will continue with the fine side. This rough cut is done and we will do the finishing with the fine paste. So this time we will grind by using fine paste, and we have to apply very small amount. Yes, and before applying this fine paste you must clean all that rough paste residue, both from the valve seat and valve. Yes, and we will repeat the same process with this fine paste. Yes, yes, it is more than enough. Slightly, 1 or 2 drop can serve the purpose. After a few minutes, when its sound becomes smooth and you feel that both the surface have a perfect mating, then you can stop the grinding process and you can again check both the surfaces. So we have to remove this one and we have to check the surfaces. You have to nicely clean all the remaining lapping paste and you have to check the surfaces. You have to clean it very nicely. And now how to check whether this sealing is airtight or not, then you can put petrol from here and you have to check here that whether there is some leakage or not. If there is leakage, if this sealing is not perfect, petrol will come out from here. Otherwise it will never allow petrol to come out from here. You have to put petrol from up and you have to hold it with hand and you have to check it. If it has leakage you have to grind it again, otherwise it's okay, you can fit the valve. There is one more method to check the health of this mating surface, but this method is not that accurate as that of first method. So in this method you have to take this valve and you can see here this shiny ring. So on that shiny ring you have to use a permanent marker. Remember, here I am using here permanent marker and I have to put lines on the whole circumference of this ring, shiny ring, and same thing I have to do on this valve. Whole circumference. Yes, put as much lines as much you can. And now let's grind it. If both the surface have a perfect mating, then these lines will disappear. Don't run it dry. Apply a small amount of WD-40 or kerosene, just 1 or 2 drop. Yes, it is more than enough. And now grind it. Now let's check where is that lines. And yes, all lines vanished. There is no line. You can see here That means both the surface have a perfect mating. Yes, you can see all lines vanished, and this mating surface is perfect. There is no leakage. So by using these two methods, petrol and line method, you can test its accuracy. So the grinding part is over. Now let's install this valve on this cylinder head.